Tonight on 12, Justice for David. A family spends Easter Sunday remembering their 2-year-old son who was killed by a stray bullet. Plus, police are looking for the deadly shooter who shot a man in the neck early this morning and getting ready for opening day. Businesses near Yankee Stadium prepare for Monday's rush as the Bronx Bombers begin their season tomorrow. Your news starts right now.
As local news gets, News 12, the Bronx.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Brittany Miller. Family and friends say they just want justice for David Paccio Jr., a 2-year-old boy who was killed by a stray bullet 7 years ago. Actually, News 12 covered this story since the beginning, including one of the accused shooters who spoke exclusively to us before he turned himself into the police. Our Zach Sauce attended the vigil in Morris Heights.
It's been 7 years since 2.5-year-old David Pacheco was killed by a stray bullet. But for friends and family, the pain is still fresh.
We're here to remember David Pacheco Jr. every Easter. And that's all I can say right now.
A group gathers every year at the corner where he was killed on West Tremont Avenue. It's made up of family, friends, and members of his father's biker club, AVP.
For me personally, I have 5 kids and his heart on me. So we come out here just to show him some love and respect to the baby.
The men accused of David's death, Nicholas Morris and Reneel Gilliam, were both acquitted back in 2008. In fact, Morris came to News 12 to tell his side of the story before turning himself into police. Now his father tries to seek some justice for his son by speaking out against gun violence.
This probably proves a point for people to stay off the guns, put the guns away or something. That's what it's for. Teach him a lesson. A gun is not a joke.
A message that has at least resonated with this mourner, who was once involved with violent gangs.
I'm an ex-gang member of the almighty Latin King Nation. You know, we've done a lot of bad, but it's time to do a lot of good.
Words that will hopefully give David's father some solace that his efforts are not in vain. This is the 4th year the family's held a vigil. They hope to hold a larger rally against gun violence this summer. Reporting from Morris Heights, Zach Sauce, News 12, the Bronx.
Coming up in 5 minutes, we will take you to Easter Sunday in the Bronx and around the world, including the changes Cardinal Timothy Dolan wants the Catholic Church to make tonight to welcome gays and lesbians. All right, let's go to the Weather Center now to get a look of your hyperlocal forecast. As you can see, going into your Sunday night, your Easter Sunday night, it's going to be cloudy. Some showers are going to be rolling in as well. Areas of fog to go along with that. A low of 42 degrees. Winds 5 to 10 miles per hour around the Bronx. 45 degrees in Soundview, 42 degrees in Mott Haven, 43 degrees in Kingsbridge. Police are looking into why a man was killed early Easter Sunday in an Allerton apartment building. Cops say they got a call about an unconscious man inside 2857 Barker Avenue. When first responders arrived, they found 28-year-old Craig Brewington already dead with a gunshot wound to the throat. The victim lived just a few miles away from where he was killed. Also in your 12 on Crime report, officers in Baychester are searching for the man who beat someone up in broad daylight and then took his wallet. It happened last month in an apartment building on Wallace Avenue. Police say this suspect grabbed a 53-year-old man from behind, threw him to the ground and choked him. Then he took the victim's wallet and ran off. Police say the suspect is in his 30s. But if you know anything that can help cops catch the murderer or this violent robber, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-577-TIPS. Remember, you do not have to leave your name. Lawmakers in Washington are hopeful that a major immigration overhaul will get passed in the next couple of months. Many of them spoke on Sunday morning shows after the AFL-CIO and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce apparently reached a deal. That deal would allow thousands of low-skilled workers into the country. Many of them would fill jobs in construction, restaurants, and hotels. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham says there are still a few details remaining, but the plan will be good for the country.
Yes, I believe it will pass the House because it secures our borders. It controls who gets a job. As to the 11 million, they'll have a pathway to citizenship, but it will be earned, it will be long, and it will be hard, and I think it is fair.
New York Senator Charles Schumer says he hopes the Senate will vote for immigration reform in May. Mayor Bloomberg estimates 500,000 undocumented immigrants live here in New York City. Meantime, Senator Schumer also talked about Mayor Bloomberg's influence in the gun control debate. The New York City mayor is running pro-gun control ads not just against some Republicans, but some red state Democrat senators in North Dakota and Louisiana as well. Schumer, a New York City native, of course, was asked if Bloomberg is helping the cause.
The ads and the sort of field organization has always been on the other side, on the pro-gun side. And so to have a counter there is very helpful. Obviously, each senator is going to have to make up his own or her own mind, and I respect that.
Recent polls show support for stricter gun laws is slipping. It was over 50% right after the shooting in Sandy Hook, but now it's below 50%. I'm Brittany Miller. Coming up, a look at Easter Sunday celebrations here in the Bronx, including a special play portraying the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Christians around the Bronx take a moment Sunday to reflect this Easter. Different parishes, like this one in Castle Hill, are packed with churchgoers. The Church of St. Raymond held several mass services throughout the day to accommodate the large crowd. Bronx Christians told us why this Sunday is important to them.
We get to spend time in church and get to pray with each other.
It is important to us because it's the resurrection of our Christ, and without him, we don't have no life. So life with him, that's what it's all about, Easter.
And one Bronx church is celebrating Easter in a special way. The New Life Outreach put together a dramatic play portraying the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Let's take a look.
Why hast thou forsaken me?
The play today is about the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. We're seeking to remind people what Jesus did for every single one of us. It's portraying the love, the immense, supreme love that God has for every single one of us.
It takes a lot of work. We need more than one person. It's a lot of fun though, and once you see it with all the lights and stuff, it looks really realistic. The whole play itself is very uplifting. You know, I get emotional during many of the scenes because of the love that Jesus has for us.
Crucify him. Why? What crime has he committed?
It is real, it did happen, and we try our best to bring the same emotion and feeling as close as possible to what Jesus did, and bring it to life for people to feel and to be able to relate to it.
Also in New York, Cardinal Timothy Dolan celebrated Mass for thousands of worshipers at St. Patrick's Cathedral in Manhattan. He said today that there is still a lot to do to make the church welcoming to gay and lesbian Catholics. Dolan says the church's defense of marriage should not be reduced to an attack on gay people, but he says he doesn't know how that outreach might work. And in the Vatican, Pope Francis led his first Easter Sunday Mass as leader of the Roman Catholic Church. He used his Easter message to pray for peace in the Mideast and elsewhere. The pontiff from Argentina only spoke in Italian instead of greeting Easter greetings in 65 languages that were prepared for him. Francis has said in the past that he would speak Italian since he is now the Bishop of Rome. And Bronxites who dressed in their Easter Sunday best took the time to get their family portraits done. Get this, one local group was taking them for free. Isn't that nice? The Bronx Documentary Center in the South Bronx offered to take free 8x10 photos for residents. It's part of the center's ongoing holiday portrait series. The photographers say they love to give family and friends something that helps them remember this day.
We're just trying to basically celebrate the holiday and get people in here. People are dressed up, they look great, they're happy, they're in a good mood, and we want to capture some of that for our community.
I just wanted to take pictures. I was passing by and I saw it, and I came in and I asked them, so it was pretty nice.
The center's founder says the free holiday portraits are so popular that it could only offer them to residents who can prove they live in the Bronx with some sort of identification. Oh yeah, it's opening day coming up. Concourse Village will be packed with die-hard Yankees fans as opening day kicks off tomorrow. Local delis and restaurants are gearing up for swarms of customers. They're already stocking shelves and stacking up for lots of hungry baseball fans. Food service employees say they always see a spike in business around this time.
Last season was good year. Yeah, you can see the sales was different between before the Yankee and the Yankee time. Yeah, everybody here got a little bit busy in the Yankee time.
Tomorrow's the big season, the big day, so it's going to be going crazy. I don't think nobody will have time to be talking, and we're just going to sell.
That's right, get your jerseys out now. The Yankees home opener against the Red Sox starts at 1:05 tomorrow afternoon. We will have a preview of the game coming up later in sports, but this brings us to our question of the day. Are you excited about the Yankees opening day? Vote at news12.com or channel 612 on Optimum TV. All right, what will the weather be like for opening day? Well, we are anticipating some great weather. Will you take a look at that? 57 degrees in Hunts Point, 56 degrees in Castle Hill, 56 degrees in City Island, 58 degrees in Pelham Parkway, and 56 degrees in Riverdale. So the Yankees are going to have some great playing weather on that diamond. It's going to be mostly cloudy, windy and mild winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. I'm Brittany Miller. Coming up, why Venezuela says it's launching an inquiry into Hugo Chavez's death. Plus, a British man comes to the birthplace of hip-hop to begin his rap career. It's our Best of the Bronx story.
Hi, Sarah Owens. I'm here for my 3 o'clock.
Yeah, the doctor's running a little bit late today, but you could just go ahead and make yourself comfortable.
Why is it that your 3 o'clock never happens at 3 o'clock? Now, extra time isn't wasted time with News 12 on your smartphone or iPad.
Yeah, he saw you.
It's the News 12 The Bronx that you love.
The time now is 3:50.
Anywhere, anytime you want it.
Miss Owens, the doctor will see you now.
I'll be there in a moment.
News 12 The Bronx. That's as local news gets. News 12 The Bronx is the one weather to watch.
News 12 is now weather on the twos.
Watch me for the weather in your borough on the twos.
All day the forecast in your neighborhood on the twos.
All night, News 12 is the one weather to watch.
News 12 The Bronx is weather on the twos. News 12 The Bronx, only on Cablevision, never on Fios, never on satellite.
We're looking ahead at the rest of the day's weather. You'll note. Can I help you? Well, I thought we're doing weather in twos now. No, it's weather on the twos. News 12 is weather on the twos. I get it.
News 12 The Bronx is weather on the twos, only on Cablevision. The News 12 app for your iPhone has a new look, new features, and all your local news, weather, and traffic. Download it today, free from the App Store. If you see breaking news or have an interesting event, call us at 718-861-6800 or email us news12bx@news12.com.
It's not every day a British native leaves London to pursue a rap career in the South Bronx, but that's exactly what one artist did, and he's using his experience to climb all the way to the top. Alicia Lavender has his Best of Bronx report.
Yeah, I spit some, blitz some, cause friction, my diction.
From Britain to the Bronx, Jameson Gordon Jr., who goes by Jameson, has traveled far and wide to pursue a career in hip-hop.
You know, the Bronx is a home of hip-hop, you know, and New York is, you know, the melting pot of the world.
That's how he ended up here at the Patterson Houses in Mott Haven. He even features it in a music video. But he recalls feeling nervous about his decision to come to the Bronx.
It's literally just a huge leap of faith.
And I think that was the hardest part, just being away from everything that I had known.
But with a Colombian mother, he used his Latin roots to get his foot in the door.
I didn't want people asking me questions. So I'd go into stores, I'd just speak Spanish, like, hola, dame un café, and I would just 100% Spanish.
And he'll even break it down for you in a freestyle rap.
A scrawny-looking white kid, born hyperactive. The fact is, I'm from 2 different breeds, so I could flip that Spanglish. Mira mis ojos. They used to laugh when I had poco. I left London town for this dream, so now they call me loco. Got perfect from practice.
Jameson has been featured on MTV Europe and has toured with some music heavyweights, including Akon and Fiona Apple. But he's got dreams of stardom in his own right.
To win a Grammy, to win an American Music Award, a Brit Award, to win every accolade.
In the meantime, he follows a simple code as he climbs to the top.
I don't let anything really deter me. Like, I've never accepted no as an answer. I've always kept on going.
Alicia Lavington reporting, News 12 The Bronx.
Jameson will release his 3rd single called Keep It Moving in late spring, early summer. But to learn more about his work, just go to news12.com and click on numbers and links. To news around the country, investigators say a Texas district attorney who was shot and killed over the weekend armed himself after one of his assistants was murdered just 2 months ago. It happened in Kaufman County, just outside of Dallas. Mike McLeland and his wife were found shot to death in their home. Authorities aren't discussing a possible connection between the 2 shootings. Authorities say there will be more security at the courthouse tomorrow.
It's unnerving to the community at large, and that's why we're striving to, assure the community that we are still providing public safety, and we'll be able to do that.
Investigators say the district attorney carried a gun everywhere he went and took extra care when answering the door at his home. Officials in Venezuela say they are launching an inquiry into claims that Hugo Chavez's cancer was the result of poisoning by his enemies abroad. Critics say this accusation as a typical Chavez-style conspiracy theory intended to feed fears of imperialist threats. Chavez is also controversial in the Bronx when he visited here several years ago to introduce a program that would cut the cost of home heating oil. Tax season is in full swing, and state and federal officials say low and middle income taxpayers can get free help filing taxes this year. The IRS-sponsored program has 3,500 volunteers at locations throughout the state ready to lend a hand. Almost 200,000 returns were prepared last year. And remember, the tax deadline is coming up April 15th. So to find a location near you, just head over to our website, news12.com. I'm Brittany Miller. A look at your 7-day forecast is coming up. And in sports, it's opening day. Our Nick Wadanis previews the Mets and Yankees after the break.
I'll be right out.
Got a little time on your hands? Make the most of it with News 12 on your smartphone.
Just a few more, honey. Ooh, these are cute. Just another minute.
Breaking news, local weather, and everything you love about News 12 on any mobile device the moment it happens.
Isn't this fun? This is perfect for your cousin's wedding.
With News 12 on your smartphone or iPad, you can make the most of your time anytime.
How does it look?
It's amazing.
We've all got a lot to do. I can't have anything holding me back. I need to know what's happening. With the News 12 app, I get it all.
For you on News 12 The Bronx.
My news, my traffic, and my weather. Either at home or on the go, it's News 12 wherever I need it.
Download the News 12 app. It's free with your Optimum subscription.
The News 12 app. It's as local news gets.
Looking ahead at the rest of the day's weather, you'll note. Can I help you? Well, I thought we're doing weather in twos now. No, it's weather on the twos. News 12 is weather on the twos. I get it.
News 12 The Bronx is weather on the twos. Only on Cablevision. If you see breaking news or have an interesting event, call us at 718-861-6800 or email us news12bx@news12.com.
In the spring, City Island usually sees a spike in visitors, but this Sunday's cold weather had many restaurant goers seeking shelter. Johnny's Seafood is a staple for many in the area, but cool temperatures cleared out the deck. Bronxites were camping out in their cars, enjoying City Island and its seafood without the shoreline wind.
A tradition to come here, but it's really cold outside and it's freezing. That's why we're sitting here in the van.
This weather is not going to stop me from eating my Johnny Seafood, not even a blizzard. Not even Hurricane Sandy.
Never get in between a man and his shrimp. Restaurant owners say they are excited for warmer weather, which brings swarms of hungry customers to the land. And hopefully we will see some of that warmer weather soon. But let's find out going into your 7-day forecast. On Monday, looks like we are going to get some warm weather. 56 degrees, 48 degrees on Tuesday, but it's going to go up from there. 49 on Wednesday, 52 on Thursday with some sunshine, 55 on Friday, 57 on Saturday, going up all the way to the 60s with a high of 59 degrees on Sunday. And that's some nice weather for us, right, Nick? Opening day. Yes, opening day weather is going to be beautiful tomorrow. The Yankees better take advantage of this.
I think they are going to. You know, Yankees off today, but getting ready for the big day. The Red Sox are in the Bronx. Practice today at Yankee Stadium. And increasingly, the division race is not about this rivalry. Toronto adding free agent stars Reyes and Dickey. Baltimore is on the rise. The Rays are coming off a 90-win season. But the Yankees are still defending champs in the AL East. And a repeat probably hinges on pitching. Andy Pettitte says his hopes are no different. The team expects to be in the World Series. And that might happen if Pettitte, Sabathia, and Kuroda pitch well and pitch often. Because for the first time in a long time, many are wondering if the Yankees will be able to score. First in the league last year in home runs, but because of free agency, injuries, tomorrow there's no Swisher, no Martin, no A-Rod, no Jeter, no Granderson, no Teixeira.
This is my first opening day that I'm going to miss my entire career, so it's a little sad. But you know, I think our team is ready for the season. You know, we brought in a lot of guys at the end of spring training. They're going to help us out, and a few guys that are hurt, but we'll come back healthy, and I think we're going to have a great year.
But without the big hitters, perhaps little protection for Robinson Cano. You could say it's all on him this season, playing for a new contract. He's 30. This is the prime of his career. 4 years in a row, he's hit 300 with at least 25 homers. But in last year's playoffs, 3 for 40. Facing John Lester tomorrow, Sabathia starts for the Yankees. And for apparently the first time ever, the Yankees and Mets opened the season at home on the same day at the same time. Padres tomorrow coming to Citi Field. Practice this afternoon. David Wright, all smiles. New contract, 8 years, almost $140 million. He says this is a scrappy team, finishing last year 74 and 88, rocked recently by the injury to Johan Santana. That means Jonathan Neese gets the ball on opening day. He says all the pitchers have to step up.
I don't think we really have an ace on this staff. I think everybody contributes equally to this rotation.
There is the expectations in our clubhouse, and and I know what the feeling is on the outside. Especially when we lose Johan and some guys that aren't here, our age not here. But you know what? You're major league players. I'm sorry. In a minute you just think you got to show up because you're a major league player. That doesn't going to fly here. If you've ever wanted to be on the biggest stage, this is it.
I think you still get those. Those butterflies, and you get that kind of nervous energy, that excitement, in a good way.
Wright saying it's a little hard to sleep on nights like this. He gets up extra early, gets to the ballpark early, a lot of anticipation.
Adrenaline,
for
butterflies.
Opening day. Yep,
oh my gosh,
stuff,
big day tomorrow.
Yep.
We'll do good. I'm confident.
I'm sure everyone will do well.
Thank you so much, Nick. One organization is celebrating Women's History Month here in the Bronx in a special way. News 12's Molly Rokasi has that story and more in your neighborhood brief.
Addiction to video games and the internet is gaining legitimacy as a psychological disorder. Experts now say that violent video games can be as addicting as drugs. Teens and even young kids are the most vulnerable to video game addiction and may become violent when that game drug is taken away. There's no diagnosis for video game addiction, but it's mentioned in a new manual of mental disorders by the American Psychiatric Association, meaning there could be a formal diagnosis by as early as next year. We spoke to parents of children who play play video games. Signs of a problem could be kids lying or hiding about doing it, disobedience at time limits, and social withdrawal from others. Well, if you haven't filed your taxes yet, you better get a move on. The end of tax season is less than 3 weeks away. One Throgs Neck accountant says a lot of people filed later than usual this year because talks of the fiscal cliff delayed the IRS in accepting tax returns. But as the end draws near, he suggests putting money in a traditional IRA to reduce the amount of money you may owe and adding up deductions before seeing the accountant to save time. All tax forms must be filed by April 15th. You can apply for an extension online, but any money you owe is due the 15th, no matter what. For more information, head over to news12.com and click on numbers and links. March is Women's History Month, and Bronxites in City Island are celebrating the accomplishments of women in the past and present with a Herstory celebration. The annual festivities drew dozens of people eager to showcase the achievements of women. There were musical performances as well as a talk about women's health issues and safety tips. The crowd also got a chance to buy handmade items created by female entrepreneurs. The event is sponsored by the Women's Herstory Association, and organizers say they are already began planning next year's Herstory event. I'm Molly Rokasi, and that was your Neighborhood Brief.
We'll be right back.